Hello and welcome along to another video, and welcome back to the hills. Yes, I am in my local hills today, the Campsie Fells. And I know what you're thinking, Callum, does that mean that your car's fixed? Unfortunately, no. My car is still in the garage, but I was very fortunate that I was able to borrow a car from a very kind mother-in-law, and it meant that I could get out into the hills this morning. But I didn't want to go great distances, so I've just came to my local hills here in the Campsie Fells to have a nice wee morning out. And today on the agenda is two small hills, but two absolutely fantastic hills, and they are Dumgoyne and Errol's Seat. And Errol's Seat is the highest point here in the Campsie Fells, and it's absolutely freezing today. The car said 3 degrees, but I think it could be colder than that because I feel it really cold. But yeah, thanks again for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this one. I've been up Dumgoyne a couple of times. I've only ever been up Errol's Seat once, but every time I've come up Dumgoyne, I'm still shocked at how steep it is for such a wee hill. Like, I think it's only 400 odd metres in height, but my goodness, you do like 300 of those straight up. It is cracking, it's good fun, but it always takes me by surprise. But yeah, we've left the sanctuary of the distillery and ATV track behind. We're on the open hill path now, and this is where it starts to get really fun. I must work out the gradient of that bit because bloody hell, it's steep. Absolutely out of breath. But the good thing is, at this point, the views really do start to open up. Oh, all the way across to the Luss Hills, Ben Lomond, the Crane Larach Hills. It's really beautiful. Now, it's one of the things about the Campsies that I really do love, is that, you know, it gives you some great viewpoints to see a lot of the Southern Highlands. But yeah, we're not terribly far away from the top of Dumgoyne. Welcome to the summit of Dumgoyne here in the Campsie Fells. And when I say it is a great viewpoint, I'm not lying. The views are absolutely outstanding. Let me flip the camera around and show you the view north. I mean, is this not just outstanding? I mean, we can see all the way to Ben Lomond. It's a shame it's got a wee dust and a cloud on it just now, but you can see the whole of the bottom of Loch Lomond. It's magnificent. The Luss Hills all the way into the Arrochar Alps. Oh, it's stunning. And then actually, if we pan this way, we can see the rest of the Campsie massive behind me as well. And the one that's in the foreground is Garlock Hill, and then Errol's Seat is just over beyond. But wowee. I mean, what a place. And this is like, you know, a half-hour drive away from where I live, which is quite incredible, that you really don't need to travel far and you can be in mountainous and wild areas. It really is incredible. But yeah, I'm not going to hang about. Might take in these views for a second longer, then I'm going to get moving and head on to Errol Seat. Now the way down from Glengoyne across to Errol Seat and Garlock Hill before you get to Errol Seat is steep. It's probably just as steep as the way up, which means there's no way I'm going to take chances by like setting the camera up and walking backwards and forwards, because it's just too steep. And I just want to be careful and make sure I get down safely. But yeah, have a look at this. Like, I don't know if the camera will do it justice, but hopefully you can see just how steep it is. It looks like nothing on the camera. It looks like absolutely nothing, so you're just going to need to take my word for it. It's pretty steep. The route out to Errol Seat via Garlock Hill is pretty straightforward. It follows a good ATV track into a hill path, and it's pretty gentle going, so the rest of this walk should be nice and relaxed. But I've forgotten that there's definitely bits of this path that are a bit soggy, and I'm wearing trail runners today, which means my feet are a tad wet. But it is only a 10k out and back, so it's not as if it's an all-day affair, so I can put up with wet feet for a little bit. So just passed over Garlock Hill, and from here it's a really beautiful undulating plateau that just sort of meanders up and down over a few little bumps until you reach the highest point in the Campsie Fells. It really is pretty. Oh, okay, I'll just spin you around, I'll show you. Yeah, just have a wee look at that. Absolutely magnificent. And then actually over this way, so over to my left, I've got this great view of the Cranelarich Hills over to even Benvollich and Stucachrone, and likes of the sort of slightly smaller hills, Benvenue, Benledi. Yeah, they're all just dusted with cloud at the moment, and I appear to be in a pretty cloud-free area, so I don't know how I've lucked out. Well, I know how I've lucked out. I do my weather checks before I go out, but yeah, I don't think it'll be too long until we're at the top of Errol Seat. Oh, and I can get a nice cup of tea. Oh dear. Well, at least I got it on camera. I'm okay, thanks for asking. No, it did not hurt, but I do have a little bit of bruised pride. But it was quite funny. And it had to happen when I had the camera set up and I was filming. Classic. Yeah, what a beautiful ridge all the same, even if it is trying to take me down. Oh, come on, Patterson, nearly there. Welcome to the summit of Errol Seat at 578 metres here in the Campsie Fells. Now at 578 metres, this is a small hill. in comparison to the rest of Scotland. I don't even think it's 2,000 feet, I think it's a sub 2,000 feet hill, so I don't even think it gets a classification, which is a real shame because it is a really lovely area. As you can see behind me, it does give you some really beautiful views. This way is looking west, you can see all the way down to Arran on a good day, and I will spin you around in just a wee second. But it's a great hill, like it's a great walk. Yes, it's a little bit wet and boggy in places, as you've seen, and sometimes if you do not take care, you will fall on your backside like me. But that doesn't mean that this hill doesn't deserve its time, its place, and for people to come and see it, because it is a really great walk and a lovely area. But yeah, let's show you some of the other views from the summit. And this is looking north, and you can see pretty much the entire of the Loch Lomond and Trossachs National Park, with Loch Lomond shining beautiful blue in the distance there. It really is something special to see, especially from this vantage point. And Ben Lomond is towering in the distance. I don't think the camera actually does it the justice that it deserves, but you know, it looks massive from here. And actually we can see the whole of the Crane-Larroch Hills. As I mentioned earlier, you know, you've got the sort of Corbetts and the Donalds, the slightly smaller hills, and then you've got Benvolley and Stuchacron. Yeah, it really is pretty beautiful. And then if we keep actually travelling round on this side of the fence, because there is a fence directly at the summit cairn, on this side of the fence you can see the rest of the Campsie Fells, and you can see across to Hole Head, which is a radar station which I've been up before, and you've got Courtmallaw, and the little peaky thing in the background is Meikle Bin, which is the second highest peak in the Campsie Fells. But yeah, it really is such a beautiful place. In Glasgow, well, that way you can see Glasgow, but actually I don't know how much you'll be able to see because there is this beautiful hue that's maybe just going to obscure the guts of Glasgow today. But yeah, it really is a beautiful place. But it's time for a cup of tea. Now, today's tea is actually new for this channel because I've never had this tea in the hills before, and well, it's quite exotic, I think, because I hadn't really heard of it, and it was a bit of a recommendation, so I thought, well, why not try it? But it is a Lapacho Pau d'Arco, which once brewed is very light in colour, and it's from the bark of a Tecoma tree, and I'm not 100% sure what that exactly is. Don't you spill over there, thank you very much. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure exactly what that is, but what I can tell you from drinking the tea is that it's really soft with beautiful notes of vanilla and caramel. Oh, it's like, I don't know, it's like the tea equivalent of a whiskey actually, with those sort of like oaky, woody, caramel, vanilla notes, you know, like a whiskey's when it's been aged in, you know, like an old oak bourbon barrel. It's reminiscent of that slightly. But yeah, really nice. And this is not a bad place at all to stop for a cup of tea and a gab to a camera to absolutely no one. Oh gosh, that is entertaining. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I had a really nice time. And the way back down, unfortunately, is exactly the way that I've came up. So I'll end the video here. And thank you so much for watching. You know, I really do hope you've enjoyed it. It's one of, you know, the Campsies, I think it gets not the respect that it deserves because it's not as big as, you know, the Munros or the Corbetts. But it is a cracking place. Like, there is a lot of variety. There's lots of peaks, lots of wee hills. I would maybe argue that Dumgoyne has a slightly better viewpoint than Errol's Seat, but it is much steeper to get up. And I'm hoping that with a good winter, this place should hopefully, you know, be ripe for some winter days out, because it's not far away. It doesn't take you long to get here. You know, from, you know, car to here is only 2 hours, which is really nice. So yeah, it's not like the biggest days out. I just think there's loads to see. The views are great, and yeah, with a dust and a snow, this could be pretty special as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please do let me know. If you've enjoyed seeing me fall over, let me know that as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next adventure soon.